I don't like Scotch eggs.
Scotch eggs are delicious. Like, I had no idea this entire time. Outside the egg, it was coated in like sausage meat. I didn't know that.
What meat did you think it was?
I didn't think it was meat. I just thought it was some form of carbohydrate.
They just molded around the egg.
I honestly thought that's what it was. I literally read it, and I was just like, encased in sausage meat. I was like, no, that's silly. And then I'm just dull.
But I mean, do you used to have the Scotch eggs, instead of having an egg inside, they used to be smaller, have the sausage meat, and in the centre have barbecue sauce. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, they were really good. I think they sold them in supermarkets, but they don't anymore.
I'm not surprised, to be honest. They don't sell anything nice anymore.
No, they used to sell turkey Twizzlers, as everyone knows.
I like a turkey Twizzler.
They were lovely, and I think you can order them like online.
You have to now, because Jamie Oliver.
He's a dick.
Fuck that guy.
Like, he looks like...
He's just like, oh, I want a better future for my kids. It's like, I'm not your kid, though.
How much death threats do you think his kids get because Jamie got rid of turkey Twizzlers?
Oh, a lot. To be honest, I thought about sending one to Jamie myself.
I thought about killing his kids myself.
Just personally. Give me, bring back my turkey dinosaur. Turkey Twizzlers.
They were good snacks for lunch boxes.
Yes.
Speaking of lunch boxes, today we're talking about first-person shooters. Lunch box, boxing match, death match, first-person shooter matches.
Okay, yes, that makes sense. Yeah,
that's my 6 degrees of 7 bacon there. So. First of all, I'll do a little introduction for everyone out there in YouTube. All of them that I could probably count on my hand. One of which is me watching this afterwards.
And then it's me watching it.
Yeah.
And then it's me watching it again just to make sure it's okay. And then you check in to see how many views it's got.
Yeah.
And then it might be your girlfriend.
Yeah, so 5 views.
So probably 5 views, yeah.
So what we're going to do on this amazing new refurbed Thicc and Creamy podcast is, you know what, fuck video game news. Video game news is boring, depressing, and always the same.
Yes.
So instead, what we're going to do, each podcast is take a bunch of years, like, not these, not the ones on your head.
It's just the accent.
But a set of years ranging from 5 years at a time. So today we're looking at 2000 to 2005. We're going to look at a category of video game and talk about the coolest video games in these years.
Yes.
Fun experiences we've had with them. Weird games that we found that have come out in this time. Because we've got at least 1 or 2 today, which suck.
Yeah.
And just chat about the games in this time period. Yeah. So today we are taking a good analysis at first-person shooters from the year 2000 to the year 2005.
Yay!
Have you ever played a first-person shooter?
Never in my life.
They are just dreadful.
Awful.
Now they're dreadful.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they used to be a bit better.
A bit better.
A bit better.
A bit better. I would take Nintendo's GoldenEye over the new Call of Duty any day.
Speaking of GoldenEye, because there was a game that came out in the 2000s, Perfect Dark.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of
I've played the remake that came out on Xbox 360, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't play the one on Nintendo, but I did watch it on YouTube, and that was definitely a game I would have enjoyed if I had it on my Nintendo. But I did not.
You were too busy playing Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes, I was. And GoldenEye.
I never played GoldenEye.
GoldenEye was the best.
I played the multiplayer on GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Where you could choose Odd Job.
Yeah. And
he was like a really short character, and no one liked you choosing him because you couldn't shoot him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, he's in the game, so I'm not cheating. So yeah, Perfect Dark, for those of you who don't know, made by Rare, so same people who made Donkey Kong.
Yes.
took after GoldenEye, so same sort of weird auto-aiming mechanics in it.
Yeah.
You could do loads of things in this game. You could like lean left and right. You could like sneak, crouch around corners. Only thing you can do is jump. Couldn't jump in the game. You could do all this crazy shit, but you couldn't jump.
But why? That's silly. Like the one thing they could have added, they did not bother. That is interesting.
Yeah.
That's a bit silly for me.
But what I liked about this is what I found out is it actually had time trial modes for the missions, and in the missions, if you beat the time trial modes, you'd unlock cheats.
See, well, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that. We always go on about this. At least I do anyway. Where the new games are missing. Well, they should look at past games is give you extra content if you do challenges.
Yeah.
You know, it adds replayability. It adds that satisfaction for actually achieving something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I won this, I want to do this, but this is the challenge I need to do, but again, they just take it out and slap a price tag on it now.
Yeah, and the thing is, like companies these days are like, yeah, we'll give you that stuff to unlock in the game, but you unlock it with currency. But don't worry, you earn currency in the game.
Yeah.
But you don't earn much.
Yeah.
You can earn more if you want to give
it's
us some
so
money.
fucking dumb. Like because games like this, like the old ones, sometimes you wouldn't even know you had to do the specific challenges to unlock stuff, but you would need to do usually difficult things in order to unlock stuff that is in the game, and I love that really.
Yeah.
It adds that replayability, and this is what I miss from these days, to be honest.
Yeah.
Particularly.
I also like the old blocky graphics of the Nintendo 64 because a lot of people compare the graphics from the Nintendo 64 to the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Where the Nintendo 64 was more blurry.
Yeah.
Where the PlayStation 1 was sharper, but you could see it was a lot more grainy.
Yeah.
But I like the weird, blocky, strange-faced
I
characters
always
of the days.
argued with my friends back in the day because even though I had a PlayStation and a Nintendo, I was one of the lucky ones. I would
Rich
always
white boy.
I wasn't. It's me and my brother had to share, see, so that's pretty much
Right.
when Christmas came along. There would just be one parcel between the two of us, and it was usually
I imagine that caused arguments.
no, because we always had two controllers, see.
All right.
And then the only arguments that ever caused is if I ever beat my brother, he would beat the shit out of me. I'm not even joking. He was the worst loser imaginable.
Really?
Honest to God, if I beat him at anything, he would beat me up.
That's
Every fucking time. I'm not even joking. So when it comes to games, when I take a loss quite casually, it's usually because of that. Because he beat the competitiveness out of me.
really.
But yeah, I completely forgot what I was talking about now.
You were talking about being abused. I think
childhood scars.
Yeah.
He's only like just under 2 years older than me, so it's not too bad.
Sound like you were going to say he's only just under 2 years old. Gonna shit be out of you by a toddler.
Yeah, but I would always argue that Nintendo had better graphics.
Yeah, I preferred how Nintendo's blurrier graphics looked to PlayStation 1's sharper, more defined graphics.
I honestly, when I went back, back in the day when I was playing them, I would argue with my friends no end because they only had PlayStations usually. Apart from one or two would have a Nintendo, but
Yeah.
I always found the Nintendo graphics more pleasing on my eyes.
Yeah, I had a PlayStation 1, not a 64. I didn't have a 64 for a while, so I didn't know. But I think as a kid, everything just looked good anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you went back and played, have you played like a PS1 game, like right now?
No, I haven't played one right now. No.
I went back and played the Tekken I had on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Because in my head, it looked awesome.
Yeah.
But then I went back and played it not so long ago, and it is literally blocks attached to each other, moving slightly like a human. And I was just like, was it really this bad? And I just really couldn't tell because I was so young.
I want to say they've made it worse somehow.
Yeah,
just to fuck with us.
Yeah, maybe.
I remember I used to always masturbate over Tekken.
Really?
Yeah, I used to play as Kuma, the bear.
Oh yeah.
And I used to like beating up women on it. And I used to get my dick hard back in the day.
Hey, you're into what you're into.
Yeah,
I don't
hey,
want to judge you.
Don't kink shame me. That was young Aaron. That was like 6-year-old Aaron.
That's interesting.
Now my kinks have evolved.
That's interesting. Yes, they have.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
I mean, are we able to pause and hear more about your journeys, or should we carry on?
The next game on our list today, the Resident Evil. You know those video games, right?
I know these games.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't my game. I wasn't really allowed these scary games when I was younger. See.
I was allowed them. I had Resident Evil 1 on the PC.
Yeah.
Like my dad put it on there for me. And
What a legend.
I loaded it up and I was like, this is scary, I don't want to play it. And I didn't. Because again, I was quite young. I was just getting over my beating up woman fetish at the time. And I needed something else. So Resident Evil Survivor was a game brought out in the year 2000. We're going to work our way up through the years. It was a light gun game. Yeah, so it sold a gun with the PlayStation 1 and you pew, pew, shoot the screen.
I love those games. Time Crisis.
Yeah, Time Crisis is a great example. House of the Dead in the arcades,
Yes.
great example. But the game was shat on by reviewers.
Oh, really?
So without looking at my notes,
Okay.
do you think of one reason why?
Resident Evil, the old ones, you couldn't shoot and move.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's pretty much all I can think of that really pissed me off with the old Resident Evil games.
They banned the light gun in America. They banned the use of the light gun in America because shooting games at the time of this coming out was being blamed for the Columbine
Really?
shooting. Yeah. So they had this light gun game which you had to play with a controller on the PlayStation 1.
God, that's awful.
Yeah, even when they had the light guns, because obviously some people still played with the light guns, they said the game was terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It just wasn't a well-made game overall.
No, but what made it worse was the fact that you couldn't use a light gun with it.
Yeah, that sucks.
They also, if you're aware, the original PlayStation 1 Resident Evil games, the video cutscene at the beginning, the really terrible quality ones, this game, Resident Evil Survivor, when it was put onto the PC, had worse quality cutscenes than the original PS1.
How does that work?
I don't know.
That's so dumb.
After reading about it, this is the type of game I'll go onto YouTube and then watch someone play.
Yeah.
With no commentary, because I'm not a fucking monster.
Oh, I know. Honestly, I used to like playthroughs with commentary.
Yeah.
But particularly because I don't get a lot of time, I do like horror games.
Yeah.
But one, if I don't know if you ever saw me play Outlast.
Yes, I have.
It was awful. I couldn't do it. It was too scary for me. So, one, I don't have a lot of time when it comes to horror games, and two, I really don't like them because I'm a big baby. So I put them on YouTube. No, I can't watch them with people now.
No,
because I used to watch like people like Markiplier play them or something like that, and I used to enjoy it. But now, when you're getting into it, and then they're just like, "Oh, $3, man," and I'm just like, "Shut the fuck up!" And I have to watch it on commentary now.
There's nothing worse than going on a YouTube video and just shooting someone and be like, "Hey, what's up, everyone? Big Daddy Dick here."
Hey, who'd you taking a piss off my YouTube channel?
I don't know. As Big Daddy Dick a YouTuber, you should be. So yeah, it was a.
I can't believe games were being blatant for the Columbine shooting.
Yeah, games were like totally blamed for the Columbine shooting.
Fuck.
You can see more evidence of it in the 2000 game, Soldier of Fortune. I have to be careful saying the name because I keep saying shoulder, and that's wrong.
Yes, it is.
Soldier.
Shoulder of Fortune.
Made by Raven Software.
Yes.
So a well-known group. It's a really boring story. It's about a mercenary who goes around the globe stopping terrorists. But this game had their own engine for doing gore, and like they had it so you could shoot these people anywhere, and all these different parts of their body would fly off. You'd shoot them in the torso with a shotgun, they'd like rip in half. You see loads of it was really, really graphic for the time.
Wow.
Really super graphic. It was so graphic, in fact, that British Columbia and Germany classified it as a pornographic film.
Oh.
Yeah, you'd think like, yeah. And that's not some misinformation there. They classified the game as a pornographic film.
I can't even compute that.
I don't know what sort of porn. Well, Germany's into some weird shit.
Yeah, Germany is into some. You guys are into some weird shit.
Fucking shitting on hairy women.
I was gonna say that.
But what the game actually released a low violence version.
Oh yeah.
So they toned down for all the babies out there. But what you could do in the original game and the low violence version is, if you were good enough, you could go through the entire game with no violence. You could shoot the guns out of enemies' hands, and they would surrender, like properly surrender.
Wow, that's
so
awesome.
you could actually go through the entire game without killing.
For a game in the 2000s, that literally sounds like a game that could come out today.
Yeah.
And people would be like, "Wow, that's amazing."
That sounds really cool. It was really well received back in the day, and there was an MMO version of this game brought out in August 2010, and it lasted for 4 days, according to my sources, which is Wikipedia. it was only live for 4 days.
What was like? Did nobody buy it?
I don't know.
Did like 0 people buy it?
I mean, it was 10 years too late.
Yeah.
There was a sequel to Soldier of Fortune as well, but
was there?
Yeah, there was. But hey,
this is about it then, really.
John Romero. You know him, yeah.
No.
Okay. So have you ever heard of the game Doom?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Next. So one of the every time people talk about Doom, they always talk about Carmack, Carmack and John Romero. They were like some of the big brains behind Doom.
See, this my problem is names of people.
Right.
Like, I might know of them, but as soon as their name is chucked at me, it's like whoosh.
John Romero has like really long hair.
Yes.
Glass. I don't know how else to explain him, but yeah, he, after the mad success of Doom games, which were, let's say, a little bit popular,
just a little bit
popular. One time, the Doom games were the highest bit of software installed on PCs.
Really?
Overlapping Windows.
Legit. How does that work?
I don't know. They installed them twice. But at one point, Doom was the highest installed piece of software.
That's insane.
It's really cool. Anyway, John Romero, after the success of Doom, formed a company, or a different side company called Ion Storm, and they promised a spiritual successor to Doom, which isn't the Quake games, because they were done by the other half of ID Software at the time, called Daikatana.
Right.
So this game was released on the Nintendo 64. I'm not too sure what the other consoles that came out on Windows, Nintendo 64 Windows. This game obviously was super hyped up because everyone was like, "Oh shit, John Romero is making Nintendo 64 successor to fucking Doom." He was so confident in this game, he originally gave it a 7-month development cycle.
Oh Jesus!
In this game as well, remember, think of the time as well. He wanted 24 levels, split into 4 time periods, 26 weapons. Each time period would have their own monsters and have unique weapons to it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, he only gave them 7 months. They showed it off close to the release, realized how bad it was, and then pushed it back. So one reason people were getting so annoyed when it was finally released in the following year from when they first thought it would come out, was they had advertisements in all these magazines, and the advertisements were read words like, "John Romero is about to make you his bitch." So they super hyped up and built up this game and turned out to be fucking bollocks.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks like he got too overconfident. in his
Yeah,
abilities
yeah.
then,
I think
didn't
it was
he?
a lot to do with like development hell. But Daikatana is one of
7 months. Even
Yeah.
that's fucking ridiculous.
Daikatana is still like looked at as being one of the biggest major video game flops ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But obviously they've
What a poop.
he's a bit of a poopy boy.
What a smelly boy.
The Daikatana, you would have AI partners in the game, which would literally block doors off from you, and you couldn't do anything about it.
Really?
Yeah, there'd just be times where the level wouldn't complete. It would just be an absolute shit show. Daikatana, and also, like I said, we've said how much we like the Nintendo 64 graphics,
Yes.
but this was super brown and super dark on the
Really?
Nintendo 64, and it just, oh man,
That's
it
disappointing.
looked like the inside of a septic tank.
Lovely.
My last game that I want to bring up from the year
2000.
is Time Splitters.
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
No.
No,
Played Time Splitters?
like, to be honest, back in the 2000s was when I was playing the more fantasy sort of less guns. Do you know what I mean?
The fancy less guns
So-
genre. Not no guns, just less.
Yeah, you know, so like snowboard kids and banjo kazooies and all these shit. Like, so I didn't
Yeah.
really start. Like, I had GoldenEye and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but first-person shooters took off for me from Halo on.
Yeah, well,
so
wait till we get to 2001, son, because something might be coming out.
next year.
Might be Halo. So, Time Splitters, I think, is a game you'd actually super enjoy. Made by a company called Free Radical Design, and was really heavily compared to the rare shooting games like Perfect Dark and
Yeah,
GoldenEye.
yeah.
And seeing them both now, because I originally played Time Splitters before I played Perfect Dark and GoldenEye.
Yeah.
I can see why it was so closely related. So the game, every level, you'd go to a different time period. You have to go destroy a crystal and run back out to the exit while swarms of enemies were jumping on you.
That sounds awesome.
It was really cool. But the best thing about this was they had a map maker for multiplayer levels, and it was so intricate. It was amazing. It is almost impossible to describe. But let me tell you, I liked it.
Yeah?
I liked it. That's my
How are they
recommendation.
putting things in games like that from the year
Yeah.
2000 and they struggle to push it like that in games now?
So in the year 2000, how old was I? What year is it now? 2019?
2019.
So I was younger. And not as smart.
2000. How old is that? Well, I was 93. So
Oh, yeah, of course.
7. I was 7 years old.
So I was 9.
You were 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Fuck me. So this map maker was so easy to use that me, being a 9-year-old, was able to build complex maps in which you could like shut yourself into control rooms and control turrets around the map and everything, and
That's awesome.
it was fantastic. But that's all for the.
That's why I always go back to these older games that are better than any, like, more, well, not anything, but the majority of things that come out today.
Yeah.
They had so much more imagination and willingness to put the effort to get these things in the games back then.
Yeah.
And it had to work properly,
Yeah,
because they
there's
couldn't
nothing else to
ship
do.
out updates. You know
No.
what I mean? I just miss these. I just miss these days, man. When it
Yeah.
comes to games.
It was a really cozy game to play. Even though the multiplayer was frantic, you
Yeah.
could choose all these different characters. They'd be like all different heights and all completely different models.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a really awesome, fun game to play. But looking on to the future, in
Yes.
the futuristic year of 2001.
Oh my god.
I know.
Flying cars,
Yeah.
floating skyscrapers.
I've only got yeah, and it just all went downhill from 2001. I've only got 3 major games I want to speak about here because I feel like I have a lot more to say about them than the other games from the year 2000. So, Serious Sam, have you heard of it?
Have you heard of it plenty of times yet?
So originally, Serious Sam was developed by Crow Team.
Yep.
So this company wanted to show off what their new engine could do.
Yeah.
So they made this game called Serious Sam, and anyone who knows about it is obviously the first-person shooter where you go through Aztec themed levels, jungle themed levels, where like there'd be literally hundreds of enemies on the screen at one time, and that's where it was sold on, like that sort of craziness. Because this game was made as a tech demo, it was about half the price of most first-person shooters coming out at the time. So people picked it up because they're like, I don't know what this is, but it's fucking super cheap.
Yeah.
Turned out it looked better than like most things out at the time, and was insane. And people went batshit for it.
That's insane.
The only thing I think is I went back to Serious Sam because I've got it on Steam and I played it and I was like,
yeah,
it hasn't aged too well.
No, most things don't.
No,
but like you gotta remember at the time these things were fucking like compared to everything else at the time. Like it was sort of like, oh my god, this is the future.
Yeah,
they did pave the way. Like don't get me wrong, like technological leaps like that did pave the way for better things in the future. But like these things usually do not age well at all.
Like especially ones which are just developed to be tech demos more than anything else.
Yeah, of course.
Because in that game they were palm trees, and if you looked at the palm trees at the right angle, you'd have like the lens flare cutting through the leaves, and you could move. And I remember looking at that.
2001, like.
Yeah, I remember looking at that for ages, being like, I don't care about the game. I'm just fucking about with this palm tree.
How is that? Like that's crazy.
Insane.
That's fucking crazy.
And obviously one of the most famous things from Serious Sam, enemies wise, is obviously they're swarming with you with enemies. You're shooting like all these like skeleton cow things.
Yeah.
You're shooting all these other like wacky shit, and then there's one really famous enemy that just like screams. Are you aware of this? So you do it in the background, gradually coming louder and louder.
Oh my god!
And you turn around to see, and this is, I'll load up a picture of this just to show you as I describe it. A headless man holding 2 bombs in each hand.
Oh my god!
Screaming. A headless man.
That's amazing.
Headless man, Serious Sam,
and an enemy.
An enemy.
An enemy.
Oh man. So here we go. So he's legit just like a headless man.
How is he screaming?
Video games. Just holding 2 big cartoon explosive bombs in each hand.
That's amazing.
And they'll run at you in like swarms of like 10, 20, 30 of them. And you hear all this from each, and that was fun.
That
It was
sounds
a fun
fucking
time.
hilarious. Damn, I could have missed out on that now.
Yeah.
God damn it, mother!
I'm gonna speak to you about one more game in 2001 before I'm gonna let you speak.
Before you just let me ramble on.
Red Faction.
Red Faction, yes.
This was a game I first of all played over my cousin's house.
Yeah.
On his PS2, and I'll be honest, no idea what the story is about because we were always just playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Red Faction is the maps and all the environments were completely destructible.
Yeah.
Because of course this led up to Red Faction Guerrilla.
Yes.
Faction Guerrilla.
Faction.
And
I've always called it Red Faction.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just how it is.
And yes, in the first one you used to be able to like literally go to the side of the map where it's just like a wall, keep shooting rocket launchers in, and like burrow a tunnel down into the map.
Yeah.
So me and my cousin used to just play the game, seeing if like how deep we can get these tunnels.
Insane.
And of course, like when one person's down there trying to blow up deeper, the other person like throw a grenade in, like wango. In Red Faction 2, which is a game that came out, I think, a few years after, in 2002. I'm going to talk about it briefly now. You were able to have death matches with bots. And you were able to level up the bots as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So they would learn off you and get better and better.
Yeah.
Which was, I found super fun because I almost treated them like pets, like Tamagotchis. I used to go in, train my bots up to get them stronger, like fight against them for a while, then put them on my team to fight against like just random enemies.
Yeah.
And yeah, Red Faction was a fucking really sick game.
Yeah. No, I heard lots of good things about Red Faction. I did see. When it was, I can remember it being advertised actually back then, and that's when I was sort of. I'm pretty sure Halo came out after that.
Yes.
Yeah. I still saw it advertised, and when we went to pick our Xbox original app, we kind of had a choice, really, between Halo and Red Faction, I think, and we ended up going with Halo.
Halo is the better choice.
But that's the thing, though. That was purely off a fluke of a choice. We were just sort of like, yeah, go on, we'll have Halo. Go on in. Not knowing much about either.
No.
But yeah.
I would say you made the right choice with Halo.
It did look awesome, though. I can remember it.
Yeah.
Rev Action, especially, you know, destructible maps again. Another game might not have aged well, but it's one of those things paved the way. Added new things, do you know what I mean? Give it inspiration to others.
I'd actually think going back and playing the first and second Red Factions would just be fine, really.
Yeah.
The second one sort of dialed back on the craziness of the destructive maps. Whereas the buildings would still blow up, but you couldn't like blow up into the like the world and the map, like dig tunnels anywhere you wanted.
See, that's again, it's not necessary, but it's just that extra bit of creativity. Cool. You know what I mean?
It's really cool.
Oh, it's just one of those things. It always happens. Companies get lazy when they go on. You know what I mean?
So you bought Halo.
I got Halo. I remember it vividly. Halo and a game called Mad Dash. So have you ever heard of Mad Dash?
No.
It's not a first-person shooter, so I won't go on about this long. But it was literally, think of a racing game, but everyone is on foot.
Okay.
And you were things like a warthog and shit like this. It sounds awful, but honestly, it was fucking great game. It was a great game. I loved it. But yeah, me and my brother then play Halo. I'm pretty sure we didn't have two controllers when we first got the Xbox. So it was usually a case of me having to watch my brother beg my mother to play, and then if I gotta go, I'd get to play it, and then as soon as he got bored, I'd have to get off, otherwise he'd beat me up.
That's the second time that's come up.
No, it was just completely, because we were big fans of, me and my brother, big fans of GoldenEye.
Yeah.
So we were already sort of tuned in with the first person shooter by then, but it was this, I think the story that sort of got us hooked straight away, because we were always like big on sci-fi, space and stuff like this, and they put this interesting story straight at us as youngsters as well, and we were hooked like this. And the fact that we could, you know, use the warthogs and stuff, drive around the map, especially in 2-player. I was always the driver, my brother be the guy on the back, you know what I mean? And this just, Halo for me at least, changed the game literally.
I always used to find with the warthogs, whoever was driving, if I wasn't driving, I'd be like, fuck, this driving is dreadful. But whenever people left me in charge of driving, for some reason, I would just turn into a retard. And I would crash into everything. I'm like, shit, I'm normally better than this. I
was calling McCrane, and my brother would be like, oh, go on, you can drive. I'd be like, yeah, you fucking know. But yeah, no, it was just something completely different. Like, there was so much replayability as well, like little things. So on the snow map, don't ask me what I called again, it's names, like don't do names, but the big snow map, there's a part where you drop down and there's soldiers fighting, and you can take a scorpion tank from here. A scorpion tank gets dropped off you, and usually 4 get on the sides, and then the rest just sort of either just sort of walk, but they're usually really slow, and then they end up dying on their own anyway. So what we used to do is just fuck the tank, and then we just used to walk, and we used to have like 16 soldiers with us, and we used to try and get them to survive, but they would only walk so far, and then they would just stop anyway. But there was loads, because the amount of playtime we put into it, we just found loads of different things to do as we went on. But it was just one of the greatest games I ever fucking played.
One thing I used to try and do with Halo is try and get vehicles where you're not supposed to get them. So like you'd be like driving your Warthog, or like you have your Banshee, or your, is it Ghost?
Yeah, Ghost,
and like you get to a door and they've obviously put a barrier there, you're just there like trying to like
it's
ram
easier
this
with the Ghost. Easier with the Ghost, because if you slide the side in first, you could just sort of get it on an angle then, and then you could get it through, and then you'd be in this tight corridor with a Ghost, and then they'd just be shooting at you.
It's like a fat man trying to get into a outdoor toilet sort of maneuvering. Or you could get out as well and like melee the fucking vehicles until they get through as well.
It was great. Like the very first part of the game, he's just like, oh, take my pistol, and you're gonna get ammo or some shit. You run out, get some ammo, come back, start shooting everyone, and then they send invincible soldiers to kill you. So we used to just do shit like that, just see how long we could survive against them and stuff. It was just so good. Like most things in that game were thought out so fucking well. Like the warthog chase at the end as well. That was the first time I ever played anything like that. And I remember the first time I did it, my heart was like,
really?
Do you know what I mean? I was just like, oh my god, I'm in it.
It'd be time. Yeah, that warthog race out the whatever ship it was called. If you were to flip over your warthog, the frantic rush, like shit, get out, flip over, go. Because I played Halo through with my dad a few times. It's like one of the only co-op games we played through together. And it was because I was good at games at the time when it came out and I had it, and my dad wasn't as good, obviously, and so like all throughout the game I was just covering my dad throughout it, and I was like, this is a nice bonding experience. This is lovely.
It was also the first game I ever played where you get additional content for finishing it on the hardest difficulty.
What did you get?
You get an extra ending, don't you?
Oh yeah.
So if you do legendary, like in the first one, what's his name? Oh my god, see names again. The dude who's pretty much in charge of your whole squad the entire time. I forget his name. The black dude.
Yeah, the one with the moustache.
Yeah, he's Johnson. 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 He's outside the Pillar of Autumn before it explodes, and he's fighting with an elite. And then they see the Pillar of Autumn about to explode, and then they both drop their guns and they hug each other, and then it explodes.
That's cool.
But somehow he's in the second game, and there's a question at the beginning by one of the soldiers as Johnson comes to collect you. He's like, "How did you survive the Pillar of Water?" And he's just like, "I'm not telling you," or some shit like that. But, it was as soon as I saw him in the second one, I was just like, "How the fuck?"
That's cool that they give you that. And
it's on all of them.
The legendary difficulty is fucking hard.
Yes, one of the hardest. One of the hardest hard modes I've ever played.
Yeah.
Until new game +7 on fucking Dark Souls.
That shit.
Fuck that shit.
But I think my fondest map memory from Halo is the one where the first level after you crash on with your drop pod. That level is huge.
There's the sand and Annie. Is it the sand when you're on the beach?
That level is
where
one
you
of
get
them.
dropped onto the beach.
The exact first one where you have all that open space to ride
through. When you first get dropped off.
But now that you say it, that map is also really good.
I'm trying to think of the fucking name of it.
I can't remember. It's really famous, isn't it?
It's literally my favourite level on the game, and I always used to quote it. But now again, its names, it's gone.
Yeah, so it'd be like a circular island, a beach going all around it, and you have to go to the centre of the island, go down the technology tube.
Yes, the technology tubes.
Whatever it's called, and do a thing. Down there.
I always used to try and do stealth on the first the first mission after the Pillar of Autumn.
Yeah.
And it wasn't great back then, but it was still fun to try.
What I used to like to try and do is, I would like to get off the dropship. I instantly used to try and get back on.
Yes.
And try and balance it. Obviously because you can't sit back on it, but try and press my body against it. And
there is one level you can do that on. After that mission we were just talking about, the beach one, and you get picked up at the end by the dropship, and then they drop you into the island. You can't actually get straight back on there, right? Really? And it is fucking hilarious because it takes you down and down and down and down. Eventually the pelican just fucking crashes. But sometimes you can survive it as well. Really? Yeah, and you're just in the bottom of this pit and you can't do anything. But you can get back on it, and it's like trying to avoid all these things and it crashes.
It's the fact you got there. Which is exciting.
You have to be quick on the trigger, but you can do it. I'm pretty sure that's the only time you can do it though that I know of, and it's fucking hilarious. I recommend you do it.
There's so many options to. Well, now with the Master Chief collection coming to PC,
yes,
that'll be an option.
Well, hopefully the game doesn't run too well that you can't do it.
Yeah, right. But I hope they leave fun shit like that in it.
Yeah, it depends. Because most things, a lot of glitches like that were down to, I'm assuming the game not being able to run as well, like frames. Because there's a thing with frames in speedruns, in there. You can quick save, and you can do stuff in between frames or some shit. I don't fucking know. But I'm assuming that's what a lot of those glitches are about.
Of course, looking at notes and stuff here, the one thing I failed to mention was the soundtrack
Oh,
from Halo.
how could I not mention the fucking soundtrack?
Yeah.
Like, what on earth?
That was beautiful.
Best soundtrack ever.
I thought I was in the room with Mr. Halo himself.
Best fucking soundtrack ever. Man's a genius.
So yeah, we all agreed that Halo is alright.
Yeah.
We got more Halo to talk about later.
Later.
Because right now we're talking about the year 2002. This is where everything went downhill.
Yes.
For video games. But however, there's probably how Halo was for you, this first-person shooter was for me.
Yes.
So let me just make sure I'm up to date on my list. There's nothing I've missed out. I don't want to not tell you guys shit.
There's plenty of games there, but some of them are just not worth
Obviously,
the hour.
We're just talking about ones that have said something to us.
Yes.
So in 2002, Unreal Tournament.
Bless me, I'm sorry. Oh, the devil just left my soul.
I feel like that.
Oh, that's why they say bless you when you see. I don't fucking know.
That's why I feel like that panda that sneezed when he got
Oh
scared.
yeah.
So Unreal Tournament came out in 2002.
Yes.
Funny enough, the game was called Unreal Tournament 2003. yeah, that's one thing I want to bring. So, have you ever played any of the Unreal Tournament games?
I have, but not till later. And one of the most fast-paced fucking games I think I've ever played in my life.
So, the only reason I really want to talk about it is to compare the speed of Unreal Tournament to modern first-person shooting multiplayer.
Insane. It's
like in Unreal Tournament, you got all these fucking crazy guns. You got rail guns.
Yeah.
You got no iron sights apart from sniper rifle and the aforementioned rail gun. You got rocket jumps, and you've got insanely fast respawns.
Yeah.
Just and real basic game modes. Just deathmatch. Just capture the flag.
Yeah. Well, in terms of multiplayer shooters, I think Unreal Tournament is one of the best ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure, 100%.
So I was. The only reason I want to talk about this one is I posed the question: why do you reckon they don't have bot matches in games anymore?
Because it would probably take the. I don't know. Because maybe. I honestly couldn't tell you. Like, it's not something I would play much. I would play bot matches if I was trying to practice at something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it takes the allure away of making you play online.
Yeah. Yeah. But I
I
don't
don't know.
want to
But
play online.
surely it can't be that hard to implement.
No, because like I'd love to play some multiplayer matches in games, but just not with people.
Yeah.
That's all. Even if they give you some incentive, like Red Faction, where, like got you that you could level up your bots and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's the way they could put some sort of gimmick on it that would make people want to play bot matches. But I really miss bot matches.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted to chill out as well, I would go on a I'd go on a bot match, put the bots down to like super easy and like just literally sit back, listen to music, chill out. Just mess with the bots on the game. But it's sad that they don't have.
I kind of silly. It could be something they could easily implement. They do on some games. Like again, League of Legends. I don't play League of Legends anymore, by the way.
What?
I've quit.
Why?
I've quit for about a month now.
Oh, you're clean.
Yeah, I'm clean.
Clean. I hear it takes like 3 months to get out your system.
But some games do, but most of them just get lazy with it now. It's just they probably think of it as like, oh, it's not a thing we need to add anymore. Where it could be easy to put in.
Yeah,
it's disappointing, really. But
I just for people like me who don't like playing with other people online, I would love to have bot matches.
Put them in.
Yeah, put them in.
Being selfish.
Yeah, I bet some video game companies are listening to this.
Yes.
Because they want the outsider opinion.
Exactly.
Speaking of getting I want to talk about this game first before I talk about my favorite game from 2002. So this game was new to both me and you from.
Oh
today.
right, you're gonna talk about this one. I thought I thought this was the joke.
This is the
right.
This is a game that we only both heard about today.
Yes.
So I'll set the scene for you viewers out there. Let me just double check. This is I can't even find it
I'm
now.
surprised it's even on this list.
Yeah. So there's a game called Ethnic Cleansing.
It's a real. We've watched it on YouTube. It's real.
Yeah. It's a bit confusing because it's not a really obviously popular game. I can't work out if it was 2002 or 2003 that this came out. But basically, well, it says 2002. So I'm going to read you the blurb. It's a game for Windows, Microsoft Windows. It's a first-person shooter. It's created by the American White Supremacist Organization. And it's published by its record label, the Resistance Records. So as part of a race war, the player controls a neo-Nazi skinhead, or Klansman, and is tasked in killing stereotypical African-American, Mexican, and Jewish enemies. Finally, the boss is the then Israeli Prime Minister, Ariel Sharon, which sounds like a woman's name. They wouldn't allow a woman to be in charge of it. No. So, so it has been ranked several times as one of the most controversial games ever created. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm not surprised by that, really.
Weird. So yeah, there's looking at some of the other. If you guys want to look up stuff about this, I would say do it, because it's some interesting stuff they included in this game. But I'll tell you what though. The gameplay I've watched, it looks shit.
Yeah,
it looks like a terrible game.
It looks really bad for 2002. It looks like the original fucking Duke Nukem on the PC looks better than this fucking shit.
It looks like pure garbage. It doesn't look like it plays well.
No.
And it just doesn't look like a good game. But I think it's an interesting game. The fact that it came out and was sold, well, I guess they released it under their own.
Yeah, but how could? But shops back then, like, there was no digital download, so you would have had to go somewhere to buy this.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they just sneak it into stores?
I don't know.
So the National Alliance, the people who made Ethnic Cleansing, intended to create an entire line of racist games, but they only released one sequel to this game, which I'll mention now, because when the fuck else am I going to talk about this? It's a game called White Law. So as you can imagine, White Law is a similar game. I can't find much about it, to be quite honest, but hey.
The crazy thing is, we were talking about this as well with the sequel. It looks and plays worse than the original.
Yeah, it's not a first-person shooter, so. But it is a third person. It's not like third person, like over the shoulder. It's directly behind the character as well, and it looks worse.
It looks awful. Like I don't know. I can't even speak when it comes to this shit. I don't get it.
So it was, like I said, it was published by Resistance Records, and they were just a record label that specialized in white power music. Everyone's favourite genre of music.
My phone, 128 gigabytes, is full of it.
Full of white power music. It probably we look like the type that listen to it though.
Literally,
honestly, the
worst bit is as well, like, you play as a skinhead, and I walk around bald most of the time.
Most of the time.
Fuck's sake. It'd be like that video from America with they're like protesting, and there's a guy over the other side, he's got a bald head, and they're just like, oh my god, he's a skinhead. Oh my god. And it turns out he's got some like illness that makes all his hair fall out, and it's just like so I feel like that would happen to me, really. You know what I mean?
But that game is a game that came out. Like I said, go watch gameplay of it on YouTube, because it's interesting to see just how bad it is.
Yes.
And if you are a fan of anti-Semitism, if y'all hate the Jews, then get on board the Resistance. Join me online for my LAN party of ethnic cleansing.
We bought it when it first came out. We were ready to play it today with you guys.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to stop pretending that I'm for this game. I'm not for this game. I don't think people should be, but I don't think.
Gets a thumbs down.
Boo. Funny though.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
So speaking final game in 2002 that I want to talk about is a game called Metroid Prime. So this game originally, again, came out in 2002.
The GameCube.
The GameCube, the Nintendo GameCube.
Very fond of the GameCube.
It is one of the highest ranked first-person shooters ever. It is one of the highest ranked GameCube games ever.
Yeah.
But this game originally, I wasn't into first-person shooters at the time, but I remember reading about it in a Nintendo magazine, or might be a Nintendo GameCube magazine, and I wasn't going to buy it, but I had a dream that a man came in through my front door with a big box in a parcel. I opened it, and inside was Metroid Prime.
Interesting.
And I was like, I woke up in the next morning. Do you know when you wake up from a dream, you're like, oh, that actually just happened?
Yeah.
I like looked. I was like, oh wait, I don't have Metroid Prime.
And then you're really sad then.
Then I wanted Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
So when I got Metroid Prime, I was blown away. It is still one of the most atmospheric games I've ever played.
Yeah.
I can't think of any more recent first-person shooter that has like dug its claws into me more.
Yeah.
Considering this game has hardly any spoken speech, apart from like your main character you play as a bounty hunter called Samus is like ow noises when she gets hit. Ow, oof, ee. This game had you basically you answer a distress beacon in space on a space station. You find that you have an old enemy there who crashes the space station and your ship into a huge alien planet, and like you know nothing about it, but you have the ability to go around like scan things and like find stuff out and learn all about the environment. And it's a huge sprawling open world, which obviously opens up the more and more abilities you get, the more sort of like beam weapons you get for your gun.
Yeah.
And apart from the music being incredible, what it does to like really bring you into the atmosphere is, even though it's a first-person shooter, you see through the helmet instead of like just a screen in front of you. So like you'll see glows of fire like off Samus's helmet, and you'll see like rain hit the visor and run down.
That's so cool.
It was incredible, and it was a really big open world, and this open world was huge, and every area had like a different biome. So one was like really icy and like the tundra, one was like down on the ground with like volcanoes, and like it's crazy. You'd be discovering shit all the time because you'd have to backpedal back and forth.
Yeah.
You'd always find new shit. You'd get lost at times for a while, but that only like made finding where you wanted to go sweeter.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, Metro Prime, hella good.
The Nintendo GameCube was the one console I played the shit out of, but I didn't own, and I really wanted to.
I love the GameCube. It's just an aesthetic shape.
Yeah, both of my best friends at the time had GameCubes, and it was the only console that I wanted so much that I never managed to get.
Yeah,
and I'm gutted because it's so many good games on the GameCube.
Yeah, it's incredible, the Metroid Prime. They released 2 sequels to it, Metroid Prime Echoes, and I don't remember what they call the third one, but the first one is the only one I really played through. It won like numerous awards from like all these different places.
Oh Jesus, yeah, look.
Yeah, it's
Editor's Choice, Best GameCube Game, Game of the Year runner up, and then Game of the Year, Platinum Award, Game of the Year, Game of the Year. Fucking hell.
So on Metacritic, it's sitting at a 97, which is
wait, hang on. IGN, 2002 Best GameCube Game. And then straight underneath it, they give it the Game of the Year runner-up.
Yeah. Because it was the best GameCube game.
Oh, yeah.
And then the runner-up Game of the Year.
What was the Game of the Year that year?
In 2002?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you.
You're not going to tell me?
Because I think maybe next podcast we'll go through some Game of the Year games for the
okay,
2000s.
yeah, cool, yeah.
So
That's a good idea.
But, we'll
that's
hold
why
off.
you're the brains and I'm the looks.
Yeah, so if anyone haven't played Metroid Prime, again, you should probably go
do it.
Probably go play that game. It's fucking really good. Like you were able to transform into a ball, so it's Samus's morph ball ability. Roll around, go to secret areres, and like for a first-person shooter, half of it you weren't shooting. you were just like exploring, opening up the elements, and like finding new shit, like reading these text logs about these backstories about these creatures you don't really know. And if you scan a new enemy, then it wouldn't just give you like a blog of information. It'd give you like thermal images of their body, like their skeletons, like all that weird shit. But I could bum Metroid Prime for a while.
Well, again, it's just I bet the sequels weren't as good.
The sequels were good. The sequels are excellent, but I just never got around to playing them. So I made a slight alteration because we're going to go on to 2003 and talk about one of the best games that has ever come out.
Really?
Postal 2.
Never played it.
So Postal 2...
But that's the thing, I still hear about it today as if it's new.
Yeah, so it was very... it caused a lot of controversy. It was very out there. It was very tongue-in-cheek. And the developers, running with scissors, wanted to have a go at all the silly things that were going on in the world, but within a video game. So you play as a character called Postal Dude. Right. And you live in a trailer park in a town, again an open world, and you're given a list of tasks to do every day. But how you perform these tasks is up to you. Like, you have to, first of all, one of the things is like cash a check in a bank. Right. So you get a check, you're like waiting in a bank, you have to wait in a queue, and people are taking ages. You can literally just wait in that queue, or you can like start shooting people, shoot the place up, like murdering some civilians to get to the front of the queue to cash it in. But like, really here, a lot of critics apparently gave the game a 0 score, which is ridiculous because this game is hilarious. It is like crazier than Grand Theft Auto, sort of.
Really? Sort
of lunacy.
Yeah.
There's terrorists in the game you can shoot. You can just piss on command, so you pee on people. You increase your health by smoking crack pipes.
That is insane.
So it was just so over the top, but like obviously people got offended by it. But I think if it came out these days,
nothing's fucking changed.
No. Okay, of course. But if the game came out these days, I think it would actually do a hell of a lot better. Yeah, because it's got a huge cult following now on.
I bet. I see it mentioned on like Steam and YouTube, whatever, like loads.
So you were able to go and like find cats and like put them on the end of your gun, and you'd act as a silencer. You'd go to the church. I think you'd kill the terrorists in the church as they were invading, and obviously there'd be jokes about the church being paedophiles, and it just used to be good. It used to be good fun. Yeah. It used to be almost. It was nice.
Didn't take yourself seriously.
No, it was like everything's poking fun at everything. Like, actually, at like the first mission, you get fired from your job, so you work at a game studio, but with scissors. So the actual game studios made this, and that gets stormed by people protesting violent video games. And they protest violent video games in the game by trying to kill you. So it's a really super tongue-in-cheek. Lots of violence. It says here it's got animal cruelty, homophobia, racial, ethnic stereotypes. That's all the things you want. This is ethnic cleansing done in a good way. I can't have that quote used out of context.
Well, you're done for now, mate.
But this is a like a funny look on all that stuff. But I'd recommend everyone go check out
Postal 2.
Postal 2. I've only got 2 less interesting games to talk about in 2003. One game, I have no idea how this game plays or anything about it. I just saw the name of it and thought it was funny. There's a game called Quest for Saddam by Petrilla Entertainment, which was released on Windows. The only bit of information I have is Quest for Saddam is a first-person shooter game released by Petrilla Entertainment.
May 14th.
Your goal is to fight Iraqi soldiers and eventually kill the boss, Saddam Hussein. They also brought out a game. A different company brought out a game called Quest for Bush, which is sadly not a porn game, which as it should be. It is a free first-person shooter video game released by the Global Islamic Media Front, an Al-Qaeda propaganda organization This came out in 2006, though, so a bit later. Fitness genre. The goal is to fight American soldiers through 6 levels and eventually kill the boss, George W. Bush. It's obviously a modification of the game Quest for Saddam. The title screen calls it A Night of Bush Capturing.
That's great.
I mean, it's a free game, so
It's free. May as well go play it if you want to.
Let's see if I can see.
If you want to kill some bush. Looks like Duke Nukem.
It looks just terrible. Looking at some screenshots here.
Quest of Bush. Look at all the pictures of him on the wall.
Wow,
that's funny.
So yeah, go check this game out online. Go play it. It's free. Don't take it seriously.
Please.
Only other game I want to talk about from 2003 is a game called XIII 13.
I was going to say, well, you mean 13? Glad you did.
I'm
glad you did.
So 13 was developed by Ubisoft, published by Ubisoft, I should say, developed by Ubisoft Paris. And it was super stylized like a comic book.
Yes.
So, have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it played. Yeah.
This is the only reason why I wanted to talk about this game, is because of how stylized it was.
Yeah.
It was the most one of the most impressive art styles I have ever seen on a game back in the day. But sadly, the game itself was just average. Or less than great. Like the shooting fell off. Like nothing felt good. Which was a shame because I did like how it looked.
Yeah.
It had a deathmatch as well, like all games had back then, which was nice. But the reason I want to bring up this is because they're doing a remake of it.
Oh, nice.
Which is, hopefully if they do a bit more of the game, like fix it up a bit, then
they definitely will now.
Yeah,
they have the technology.
They do. They will make it gooder. Better. They actually reimagined this game, apparently. Re-released it called 13 Lost Identity, which was made for Windows, iPhone and iPad in 2011. This game is not a shooter, but a hidden object game. It's weird.
Why give it that name?
Yeah, why?
Why make it associated with that?
Why make it a hidden object game?
So dumb.
Game. So final bit is 2004 to 2005.
Yes.
I matched these 2 years up. Like we talked about Serious Sam being like, oh, that game looks amazing. Far Cry came out in 2004.
Yes.
Did you ever see it played in 2004? What was your opinion?
I don't know. I can't remember much of it, to be honest. It didn't really... Back then, I was... What was I playing back then, just before Halo 2?
Halo 1?
No.
Just getting beaten up by your brother?
I can't even remember. But it didn't... I don't know why it didn't grip me that much.
No?
No.
No, I give a reason, because Far Cry 1 was a bad game.
Oh. That'll be why then.
It was technically very impressive. It looked incredible.
Yeah.
For the time, obviously. And you needed the highest end machine in order to play Far Cry. See if I can pull up some interesting facts about it. Well, I'll tell you what was wrong with it. The reason it was terrible, I need to burp, but
do it.
It's sort of...
Do it. Rub your back like a baby.
Okay.
There you go. Who's a good boy? There we go.
Jeez.
Oh, the fan just blowed it straight in my face.
So this game had high reviews on Metacritic, looking at an 89, but I didn't like it because it was shit and everyone else was wrong. So what would happen is you played a ex-Special Forces operator named Jack Carver, who was stranded on a mysterious archipelago in Micronesia. He was searching for a female journalist because she went missing, obviously. Because why else would you search for something?
The name made me cringe.
Yeah. So it was by Crytek, and this is how
Crytek were awesome though back in the day.
this is how they premiered their CryEngine software. Did that go on to do Crysis?
Yeah.
So as you can imagine, the people who made Crysis premiering their CryEngine software first of all in 2004, it fucking blew shit out of the water.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Every time like Crytek bought out a new game, you know, Xbox 360 previous, it was always gonna be like the best looking fucking game that was out in that generation.
Technically impressive as well.
Yeah.
Like the things you could do in it. Like in Far Cry 2, it was a bad game, but if you shot a rocket launcher aiming at the sky, the heat from the back of the rocket launcher would set the grass behind you on fire, and then that would spread. And that stuff was cool.
Yeah, that's things that most people just don't think about. Do
But the main problem with Far Cry, it was so dense and it looked so lush. This island back in the day. Number one, you couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
But the problem is, all the enemies would instantly see you as soon as you were spotted.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an easy first-person shooter as well. Like, you just fucking die.
Yeah.
And for that, I could never get into it, and I didn't think it was very good. But
It didn't grip for me.
Technically,
either,
very impressive. But
yeah. Well, the same with the Crysis games. I mean, technically, they looked and played like nothing else out at the time. But outside of that, I was kind of like,
yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't good as you would as it looked. You know what I mean?
Crysis wasn't a great game. 13 Far Cry games have been released. I just had a look.
Yeah, I know that's the problem.
Wow.
This is the problem with Ubisoft. They don't know how to stop ruining stuff.
No, I recently installed both Far Cry Primal and Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah.
And I played New Dawn for an hour, and I was like, "This is dreadful."
Yeah, well,
and I turned it off. There was just
that's the
nothing
thing.
to it.
Far Cry 4, Far Cry Primal are literally the same maps, and it's the same with Far Cry 5 and Far Cry New Dawn. They're the same maps.
They hit their peak with Far Cry 3,
yeah,
which
that
was
fucking great.
which is still better than Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 5.
100%.
Even if you just want a Far Cry experience, always go back to 3.
Number 3 is without a doubt the best one.
Yeah.
110%.
But,
That's a great game.
New Dawn is just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's got microtransactions in it
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
You don't need, but reality.
Ubisoft just don't know like when to stop.
Yeah. So with New Dawn, you need to collect ethanol to power up this base, and that's how you sort of like get more upgrades and stuff,
Yeah.
and upgrade your guns and everything. But it takes ages to get the ethanol. I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
So I thought, fuck it, I'll just get standard guns and play through the game anyway, because fuck it, I don't need the best guns.
Yeah.
But it turns out you need to upgrade the base in order to progress through the story. So
such a rip off.
So yeah, that was.
Ubisoft have just got worse and worse and worse, man. I noticed, like, I knew like things like this were gonna happen with Assassin's Creed. Like, as soon as they announced one, like as soon as they didn't end the story with Assassin's Creed 3, I just went, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep it going, and I've been right, and they just keep getting worse.
Yeah, that's all they'll do now. Sadly.
Yeah. Black Flag was good.
Black Flag was cool. There was moving on from Far Cry. There's a game called Painkiller. Have you ever heard of Painkiller?
I've never even heard of this game.
So Painkiller.
People can fly though. They're good developers usually.
Yeah,
right?
this was their first published game.
Really?
Yeah. This game took inspirations from Serious Sam because there was a huge amount of monsters and enemies on screen at once. But the one thing that I want to talk about with Painkiller is the weapons it had in the game.
Right.
Because holy shit, these weapons were fucking outstanding. So it says here it's inspired by like Quake and Doom, Serious Sam, so I just said. But there's two weapons that I could remember more than anything. There was one weapon which you fired wooden stakes. But these stakes were like 3 foot long and like thick.
Really?
And you'd hit an enemy, they'd ragdoll, and they'd pierce the wall and stick the enemy to the wall.
I love that.
Everyone, and it felt like just a big fucking penis extension. Like, this gun was so fucking good. But then there was another weapon, I should say, and there was another games journalist who noted this weapon because of how excited he was by it. It was a weapon that shot shurikens and lightning.
What? That's
Yeah.
awesome. What the fuck?
Yeah. You can't think of anything better, can you? It's just shurikens and lightning. You could do alternate fire as well, where you like shoot lightning and a shuriken, and it'd be a lightning shuriken.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Isn't it?
That's so inventive.
Isn't it? And like you'd have your melee weapon used to be like a blade of 3 twirling knives, and you like chainsaw it into people. Every weapon on it would feel like a big, powerful weapon as well. They had the standard double-barreled shotgun barrels were like binocular thick, and just boom, everything, and it was awesome. You play Painkiller. It's got like heavy metal music in the background as well.
Yes.
It is non-stop fucking shit up.
That
If you're
sounds
playing Painkiller and you haven't killed a monster for like a minute, you're doing something wrong. So yeah, Painkiller is a great game, and I just want to talk about those 2 guns. But we got like 3 final things, and I don't know if the final thing counts.
The final thing.
Have you heard of you played Battlefront 2, haven't you?
Oh, the Star Wars, yeah.
Would you count it as a first-person shooter? You can put it in first-person shooter.
You can, but I never did.
No, but you can, so it counts.
Yeah, we'll count it.
All right. Actually, no. We'll save Battlefront 2 for another
Third
time,
person.
because we've got a lot of things to say about Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
Amazing game.
I'm going to say about one final game before we get to the last one, is Doom 3. So, obviously, Doom 1 and 2 were huge hits, so people were like, fuck yeah, Doom 3.
Yes.
Turned out to be nothing like the Doom games, and everyone was super bummed originally,
Yeah.
but like playing it, it was a spooky game.
Yeah, so my gripes with things like this is I don't mind if they set a game like this in, say, the Doom universe. Just don't call it Doom.
Yeah.
Just like they could have like in small print, like above the actual title, just be like the Doom universe or something like that,
Yeah.
and then call it something else.
Yeah.
The problem is,
Sure.
like, even if it is a good game, it's not a Doom game.
No,
Do you know what
it's
I mean?
not.
So they could have just easily named it something else
Yeah.
and just said it's in the Doom universe. I think that would have preferred like that. The things, because they did it with like Lost Planet 3 as well. You ever played the Lost Planets?
I played Lost Planet 2.
Well, Lost Planet 1 and Lost Planet 2 are completely similar. Yeah,
Yeah.
they pretty much
Yeah.
the same game. But Lost Planet 3 is like Dead Space.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking yeah, I hate that.
And I was just like, what the fuck is this?
I like Dead Space, but I hate when
Yeah.
games just change.
It was okay game, but again, it was just, why even call it Lost Planet? It's not a Lost Planet game. It's dumb.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I agree. Doom 3 was not a Doom game, because like I said with the Painkiller games, if you're not killing stuff for a minute,
Yeah.
it's not a Doom.
Yeah.
It's not a Painkiller game. Same with Doom.
Yeah.
One thing they did that was impressive with this game, though, ID Software had a new engine out, like a lot of the impressive games we talk about today, and it looked phenomenal. It looked really, really good
Yeah, I
on the
did notice
Xbox.
that. Yeah.
But one thing people always complain about is the game was really dark, and it forced you to use a flashlight,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't allow you to use a flashlight and a gun at the same time.
See.
Yeah, I understand that that's silly, and in the remaster they fixed that.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was I kind of enjoyed it, because you go for a super dark area, you have your flashlight out. As soon as you saw something, you're like, oh shit, pull out your gun, shoot it, and you're like, is it dead? Do you shoot another shot and like waste your ammo? Or do you like check?
Yeah.
You check, if it's safe, it's like, oh fuck. And then,
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I enjoyed that part of it. I enjoyed how lonely I felt in that game. I think they portrayed that really well. But I think the overall story of it was dumb and silly. It had a add-on as well, Resurrection of Evil, which came out a few years later, which I never got around to playing. But I would recommend it.
Yeah.
But I would recommend it. But I would
Okay.
recommend the new Doom.
Remember,
Remake.
multiple developers listening.
Yes.
Don't call it a game if it's not that game. Do you know what I mean? Like Lost Planet, Doom. If you're gonna change the game style, call it something else.
Yeah.
Stop being a dick.
Call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
All it is.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to call him a rude word then, the developer. Yeah, take that, Carmack.
You bitch.
Yeah, I'll fight you. Final game of the day is we gotta talk about this game another time. But the final game of the day.
Is that within our time frame?
It is, but that's going to be a game of the year thing.
And the other one, and we haven't talked about the first one either.
What first? No, that was in the past. That was before.
Was it?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. I won't tell you guys what we're talking about because
they probably know, because they're probably thinking, wait, what about this game? We will get to these.
Bear with us, viewers. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, 2 years out.
Let's talk about these two games at the same time because they're.
Yeah, I think because you'd need to talk about this one.
If anyone's wondering why we haven't talked about Half-Life 2, it's because I want to talk about Half-Life 1 first, and that obviously came out in 1988.
1998. 1998 correction.
Yeah. So final game of the day. I haven't heard of it before. It's something developed by Bungie. It came out in 2004.
Yes, it did.
I don't know. It's got some guy called the Albayator. It's something about a big flood or something.
Yeah. You getting it? It's Halo 2, baby.
Halo 2.
We're talking about Halo 2, baby.
I've heard about this game.
There's going to be people disagreeing with me. There's going to be people agreeing with me. But still, to this day, in my opinion, best first-person shooter ever fucking made. And I will.
It doesn't work.
I will fight people. It was another massive step up from an already high bar that was set from Halo 1. Again, just the amount of story they managed to fit in this game, and just how fun it was to play, the better graphics, the newer vehicles you could use. It was just like, for me, back when this game came out, and I remember, because me and my brother loved Halo 1 so much, when we first saw the advert for this game, we just sort of looked at each other, our chins just hit the floor. We were just like, there's another one coming out, oh my god.
Shit.
And it was just a masterpiece. Everything was done so well. The duality in the game between the two different characters that ended up coming together at the end.
Master Chief and the Arbiter.
Yeah, well, they didn't really come together at the end. I think they came together more in the third game than the second game.
Yeah.
But it was just a change up. Some people weren't massive fans of playing as both the Chief and the Arbiter. For me, it did work. I did like it, even though I kind of just, in later iterations, I kind of just wanted to play as the Master Chief. Halo 5. But yeah, it at the time it worked and it was great. And again, same as the first one, when the flood came, it was like a spoopy game. Just so many fucking memories.
Brought in the use of dual wielding weapons as well.
Yes, dual wielding, man. Dual wielding the needles, the needlers. Oh my god, OP, man.
Awesome.
First game I ever played online as well.
Really?
Halo 2 was the first game I ever played online.
How was your online experience?
Amazing. I was a beast. I was so fucking good. And I don't want to blow my own horn, but you know, Walshy, come at me, bro. I'll fuck you up. But yeah, it was so good. It was so good. First online friend I ever made though was on Need for Speed Carbon.
That's your first friend, you mean?
No, online friend. He means online friend.
Yeah, sure. Only.
But yeah, it was just best. Such. Oh my god! I can't talk about this game because I'll be here for hours.
Well, there's little facts here. Halo 2 is the it's the best-selling first-generation Xbox game.
Yes, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt.
So, I wonder if it's the best-selling Xbox game of all time. Maybe not. Maybe.
No, that'll probably be like a. I don't know. I don't think so.
Unless Halo.
The best.
No,
6.3 million. I don't know.
I know. We'll find that out.
Yeah.
So obviously, people are expecting it to be highly praised.
Yes.
And it was the campaign was criticised for its cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, well, you just got to man up, like, you know.
Just got to deal with
You
it.
just got to deal with it. It means you get another one. Fucking smile, be happy, bitch. Unless you see one in Halo 6, then you'd be mad because it's gone on for too long now.
Yeah.
3 games, too much.
Kill it now.
Kill it now.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing as the gross alien man.
Yes. The Arbiter.
Yes. I can't remember much of the story, man.
You can't remember much of the story.
No.
How do I condense it? I'm not good at words. No, I'm not going to bother. You're just going to have to.
Okay.
You have to find a condensed version.
I think the soundtrack for Halo 1 was better than Halo 2.
It was, yeah, but
I'd say there's more noticeable songs in Halo 1.
yeah, but again, it wasn't a massive difference. But you say that Halo 2 was the one that had the fucking guitar with was it Steve Vai who done the guitar for it?
Right.
So again, it was another icon for me, at least, another iconic score that sort of came out of it, because I was big into metal at the time as well, and then fucking hearing that as soon as you load up the game, it's like,
it's nice to hear that cover of that song. I like that.
It's so good, man. So fucking good. Again, Martin O'Donnell smashes it out of the park. I'm pretty sure he stopped doing it at Halo 4.
Sure.
Martin O'Donnell doesn't compose anymore for the Halo games.
It's a shame.
It is a shame because they released like a Halo album with all like Martin O'Donnell songs on it, and it's so good. Yeah, so fucking good. Check that out.
So it was released on PC as well.
Yes,
but it was released very late on PC, which means people dated it quite low.
Yeah,
and they said at the time of the release on PC, the graphics looked dated, but
yeah, of course,
it was still a fun game. Who cares?
It's kind of frustrating that they don't release games on the PC the same as others, because I mean, surely this might be, because I'm not a games developer at all, I don't do anything like this, but surely as they're made on computers, it would be easy to bring them to computers.
Think so? I don't understand how that works. I don't understand how that works at all. But yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because they make it on a computer, they test play it on a computer, but then somehow it takes so long to come to a computer.
I know. That doesn't make too much sense, does it? So, Halo.
Are you being funny?
No, it doesn't make sense, does it? Like, if it's made on a computer.
Yeah.
But this picture here is what I remember from Halo. So it's the legendary edition metal tin Xbox cover, Xbox game case.
Scratch the shit out of your disc.
That particular cover, I always. If I think of Halo 2, that's what I think of first.
Yeah.
One interesting thing is, in addition to traditional forms of promotion, Halo 2 was part of an elaborate alternate reality game project titled I Love Bees, which cost an estimated $1 million.
What?
This game, in quotation marked, centered on a hacked website, supposedly a site about beekeeping, where an AI from the future was residing.
That is interesting.
Why?
That's okay.
They
interesting.
They actually, this is a totally unrelated game, but the game Dante's Inferno, where you go through the circles of hell.
Yeah, I like that game.
They sent off a review copy to a journalist.
Yeah. And
they sent it off in a box, like a wooden box. And inside the box, when they opened it, or they couldn't open the box, but it was like a high-pitched buzzing going off inside. So the journalist gone like smashed the box open, and inside it said, "Aha, you got the sin of wrath." And I was like, "Oh, that's a funny thing, good. Halo 2, awesome game to end these 5 years of first-person shooting.
Yes.
Definitely your favourite.
Yeah, 100%. There's so many memories of this fucking game, man. My first of most things with this game, again, like the dual wielding, multiplayer, just all these sort of things that they brought in, which I weren't really used to at the time. I remember when I was fucking walking across one of the levels, and I already had a gun in my hand, and then another option come up on the side, It's like hold X to dual wield. I was like, fuck is that?
I know.
And then I pick it up and I got another gun. I'm like,
Oh fuck! Like,
but yeah, it was.
Master Chief has finally learned how to use both hands. Sick.
But yeah, it was. It's just again iconic. Still to this day, I play it, enjoy it. Like there was loads of Easter eggs in there as well. Like if you could sneak the Banshee through the tunnel on the level, the Metropolis level. If you get the Banshee through the tunnel, you've got to get in it at a moment where the game loads the next area. Because if you don't get in the right time, the Banshee disappears.
Oh, there's something for that, isn't
Yeah, if you get in the Banshee at the end of the tunnel, just where you're about to go outside, as the game loads, you get to keep the Banshee going into the next area. But you need to do that because on one of the buildings there is a gun that looks like a plasma rifle that shoots scarab bullets. You know the big scarab?
Really?
It shoots out of it.
That's incredible.
It took me ages to find it.
It's nice that the game has that instead of an achievement.
Yeah.
Because a lot of games now
You'll actually get an achievement for it, actually.
Is there achievements?
I'm pretty sure.
What, on
No,
the
no,
Xbox?
on the Halo 2 remake on the 360.
Right.
You get an achievement for it, sorry.
Right.
My bad.
But I liked it back in the day where they had to put something there.
Yeah.
They couldn't just say, "Oh, boink, get 10 good boy points for doing that." They have to be like, "Okay, you've done that. Have a fucking cool gun."
It's honestly, all I heard, all I was told was, if you get the Banshee into this area, there is a building with a gun on it that fires the scarab thing. And that was all I needed.
That's all you needed.
I didn't know the exact. I just managed. It took me hours, but I got the Banshee through, and then I just spent ages just going out of bounds as far as I could, looking for the building, and I found it, and no regrets.
That sounds great.
First game I ever tried to skip the map on as well.
Really?
Yeah. I took the Ghost and I tried to go over mountains. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
That's cool.
But you can like deload the game. So if you go too far without hitting the checkpoint, you can get really far into the game, but there's no enemies, and so you can only progress so far.
That sounds really fun. Anyway,
was
I like fucking about like old games.
Yep. First game I ever done anything like that was right here.
Halo 2.
Halo 2, baby.
And on Halo 2, it's time for us to say goodbye.
How long have we been? Hey, how long have we been going?
An hour and a half.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say let's do a quick one because I'm tired.
Yeah. I mean, so we're gonna wrap it up there.
Yeah, I think so. Fuck.
Next.
Nobody's watching this.
No, I don't fucking play them. So next time, for people who are around, we might do some old Game of the Year stuff.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We should do that one.
Maybe some older games next time. Because I don't want to do new games.
Yeah, fuck new games. We'll stay in the old stuff as long as we can, but
so
we'll have a whole podcast to Half-Life on its own.
Exactly.
And
so
everything that spawned from it. So
that's
Counter-Strike and Left 4 Dead and all that shit.
That's a podcast on its own.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do one of them as well.
So thanks for watching, fuckers.
Halo.
Halo.
That's all you need. Halo.
Goodbye.